I didn't grow up reading comics. So when it comes to some of the characters who are deep in the superhero universes, I don't know who they are. So when you make a movie about them, it's up to you to inform me of who they are, why I should care, and why I should want to see more. I would like to start this video by saying, Sony, you failed at doing this. You failed at putting together a cohesive story that would make me want to see this character again. This movie is no good. No bueno. Just in every language, this movie was not good. But I blame myself because I had a feeling it wouldn't be good simply because it's Sony putting it out. And when it comes to superhero movies, they very, very, very often miss. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the subject of today's video, unfortunately, is Craven. If you have not seen this movie, then may God continue to shine his light on you. But because I watched it, you're going to have to hear about it. This movie was just, oh my God. This movie was as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was. See, I skipped Morbius and I skipped Madam Web because I knew that there was nothing good coming out of this one. But as I peruse my YouTube timelines, like most of you do, that's how you discovered this video, I've seen a lot of hate for this film. Now, even with movies that I don't recommend, I still, if you want to go see them, I encourage it. Because just because I don't like something doesn't mean you won't. I didn't personally like Oppenheimer all that much, but I know a lot of people did. So it's art and it's subjective. But this movie is bad. From the dialogue, we're going to start with the dialogue because that was one of the first things that irritated me. You see, audience, when people say your name over and over again, audience, you don't want to hear them continue to say that, right, audience? Because we know who you're talking to. You only need to say their names a handful of times. There's ways you can work a character's name into a plot without repeating it, right, audience? Isn't that getting annoying already, audience? Because that's what they did in the beginning of this movie. And that's how I knew I was in for something that I wasn't going to be happy with. Also, with a ridiculously bloated runtime of 2 hours and 9 minutes, this movie felt like it went on for 2 years. The CGI, like, okay, Sony, you have to do better with your CGI. Okay? We have Disney who is making full movies like The Lion King or Mustafa with talking animals. While all the CGI isn't great, it's mostly good. Your CGI should not look worse than Glinda the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz, which came out, what, the 30s? The ending boss fight, Craven looks like he's fighting a cartoon drawing. Like we're in, I can't even say Who Framed Roger Rabbit because that was actually done well. The dialogue in this movie was a awful. I can't even put words together to describe how annoyed I was sitting watching this awful movie. The CGI is terrible. You have characters in the movie that, so Calypso, she was shoehorned in to try and give us a teaser for a second movie because we don't find out anything useful about her. Which I know, based off, watching movies my entire life, that they are trying to get us interested in the second one. Finish the first one. Finish it first and make that one good. And then maybe we'll care enough to go see a second. But I don't care about these characters. They had one character called the Foreigner. Now, if you're a Dragon Ball Super fan, you know what I mean when I say Hit. For those of you who don't know, Hit is a character that uses time to fight. He can freeze, pause time, he can move around, but you don't really notice it. That is what the Foreigner can do. Now, when you first hear about him, They mention only his name, the foreigner. So you think that he is going to be a major player. Nope, he's not. He dies because he wasn't paying attention. How frustrating is that? He dies because he simply was looking down for too long. That's like in The Legend of Chun-Li when they kill Vega in the first like 5 minutes of the movie. It made me want to just stop watching right there, but I already paid and it was past the 5 minutes. So I was stuck sitting and watching this awful, awful movie. All in all, this was a extreme waste of time. No one is going to want to see this movie. No one's going to want to see a follow up. How is it that y'all have these Spider-Man universe at your disposal and you can't seem to make good movies around Spider-Man? Sony, do everyone a favor. Get rid of the IP. You don't know what you're doing. You are not good at this. Make video games, make cartoons, let someone else handle the lore of these characters. Not to say that Marvel's going to do any better, but damn, they'll do better than this. We'll at least be somewhat interested in another one. This movie had no after credits, so we have no idea where this movie's going. I don't know if he's going to be introduced into the MCU anytime soon. All I know is that this movie is a waste of time. You can watch it if you want, but I highly recommend that you just go ahead and skip this one. I didn't like it. I know a lot of people didn't like it. Did you sit through Craven? Did you go through this battle of attrition? Let me know in the comments and I will see y'all in the next video. Happy New Year's.